Hi friends, welcome to my channel Simple Learning Tips. So in today's video we'll be discussing about industrial relations concept and evolution in India. So without much further ado, let's move on to the topic. First, I've just given a small introduction. So previously also I've made a lot of videos about that. I'll leave the link in the description box. So the industrial relations, if I have to explain in very simple term, it just means that it's about how well the employers and workers they understand each other, okay, and how well they work together or they clash together, okay, in industries. That is the simple way to explain industrial relations. How well the employers and employers they can complete a task together, they can achieve the organizational objectives together, okay. Now, who are all the key stakeholders in industrial relation? You have first obviously your employers. Why employers are involved? Because they want productivity, they want discipline, and they want obviously profit in the organization. Employees or trade unions, they are involved because they want to demand fair wages, job security, rights of the workers, okay, so that is why they are involved. Government, now government, because they create laws to protect both parties, and also they try to maintain peace or any kind of arbitration between employees and employers. Now, what are the objectives of industrial relation? That is, I've just given a small like explanation. See, this is very easy, so I'm just going a little bit fast because I have to explain some other concept as well. That is, it is to promote your industrial peace, productivity, and to avoid any kind of strike, lockout, conflict. Also to encourage employee participation and protect the rights of workers, and also to ensure that legal compliance and social justice are being done, okay. Now my next main topic is evolution of industrial relations in India, okay. Now there are four phases, so I'll just explain each and every phase. Phase 1, pre-independence era, that is before your independence, before 1947. What happened during that period is workers they were exploited under colonial rule. We all know that, right? There were no rules, no regulations, nothing like that, so workers were terribly misutilized, okay. And there were no job security, there were no proper working conditions, okay, there were no health and safety hazard safety equipments, nothing was there, okay. And the labor they were very cheap, and they were unorganized, and always they were replaceable. So what happened during that period is trade union movement started emerging because people started growing awareness, okay. So one of the key milestone during this period is Trade Union Act 1926 was formed, and it was legalized. Why? Because legalized formation of trade unions happened during this pre-independence era. Now, one of the example that happened during that period is when Ahmedabad mill strike happened in 1918. Mahatma Gandhi, father of our nation, he supported the strike using peaceful methods, and also he tried to resolve any kind of worker grievances. So this is what happened during your pre-independence era. Now, post-independence era, that is 1947 till 1991. What happened is that, see, you got your independence, so government they started focusing on national building and nation building and your industrial development. And there were rise of public sector undertakings, like your Bell, SAIL, NTPC, like that. And strong legal framework were formed to protect workers, like your Industrial Dispute Act 1947 was formed during this period. Then trade unions became more powerful, and it had both negative and positive because the collective voice was there, workers rights were protected. But the negative in the sense, a lot of strikes, lockouts were happening during this period. And one of the positive example that I could say is that during this period, Bell, a public sector undertaking, they developed model IR practices through structured negotiations and worker welfare schemes. So this is what happened during your post-independence era. Now comes your phase 3, that is economic liberalization era, 1991 till 2010. Now what happened during this period is globalization happened, right? And so India opened to a lot of global markets in 1991, and there were, a private sector, and I mean your multinational companies started emerging. Okay, they started coming to India, and people were absorbed, jobs were coming in. But what happened during this period was there was a decline of your traditional trade union. Okay, especially in white collar sector. Okay, in private sector and all that, there are like there is no trade union, right? So these kind of decline started happening. And also a lot of contract based employment and outsourcing started happening. So there were no like proper trade union or anything who will negotiate and everything. So because these things started happening, these changes started happening. And moreover, the focus shifted from job security to job performance, right? So these things happened during your 1991 till 2010. For example, in Wipro, Infosys, companies like that, employee relations were focused more on internal HR grievances and their redressal rather than involving any kind of union negotiation. So everything was being handled inside the companies. Now comes your phase one, that is your tech and gig economy era, that is 2010 till now, present. So what happened? Digital transformation, they started replacing workplaces, and rise of gig works like your Zomato, Swiggy, Uber, all these things started happening. And also because of post-COVID, work from home concept became more relevant, and it started being applicable to all the sector. And more workplace flexibility, remote work. So these things started causing new challenges in IR. And also government introduced labor code reforms 2020 to simplify the laws. Okay, so now one example that I want to give is that because of this new tech and gig era, you remember in 2022, Zomato delivery workers, they went on a strike. Okay, why? It sparked debate that about the gig workers and their payment, and how to do, how to protect their rights in the, so how basically to protect the industrial relations in the digital economy. Okay, because they are being paid for the deliveries they are making, and most of the payment goes to the company, like goes to Zomato, and some commission only they will be getting. So hard work they are doing, whatever hard work they are doing, they are not being compensated according to that. Okay, so these are the various phases. I hope you understood it. If you didn't understand, please let me know in the comment section. Next one, what are the key laws related to IR in India? Trade Unions Act 1926. So they legalized trade unions. Industrial Dispute Act 1947. So in this law, as per this law, settlement of industrial disputes happen. Factories 1948. It ensures health and safety. Industrial Relations Code 2020. They modernized labor laws into one code. So I'll explain all these trade union, all these laws in the future videos. So please please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and because these videos will be uploaded as well. Now, what are the various challenges faced by IR in the current scenario? Contractualization. So nowadays everything, most of the people, they are in contract basis, not majority, but still contract basis employment started happening in India. So in this contract, how you will protect the employees, like if it is for 1 year, after that there is no probable chance for extension of employment to them. Okay, and because it has been already established that the employment will not be continued, how industrial relations or how the workers rights or how a kind of job security can be given to them? So it is not possible, right? So these are some kind of the challenges faced by industrial relation. And also they will not be having any kind of benefits as the permanent employee will get. Now also there is a struggle to include gig workers in IR laws, and tech adaptation. So you have to adapt employees rights along with the business changing business objectives, right? So business demands, like more and more technologies are being involved, AIs are being involved. So how to maintain a balance between your employees, workers, and all these technologies? So these are the challenges that are faced by IR in the current scenario. So I just want to, before winding up this topic, I just want to give some real world examples that happened. Okay, you might be thinking why industrial relations is important, because I just want to give some examples. In 2012, there happened a riot happened in Maruti Suzuki plant in Manesar. Okay, what happened was that it was because of some kind of labor dispute, some kind of mistrust in the contract and wages disparity. So what happened was that a riot happened, police were involved, and unfortunately one HR manager died. Like, these workers, they attacked him and he passed away. Okay, so this kind of IR disputes happened. This is a major thing, right? So this happened in 2012. Next is when Air India was privatized in 2022. Before that, unions, they protested against privatization, because when privatization happens, definitely previously they were having the government employee status, they won't be having that, so there will be no job security. Okay, so they started protesting because of job loss concerns. Then your recently, now also, I think last month or something, you can just check that Ola Uber drivers, they went on a strike in Maharashtra, because of there is no legal framework, because of the pay related to the pay and the commission and the work, what do you call that, the regularization of their working hours and everything. So basically they don't have any rights, or there is no one to protect their rights for the payment or anything. So they started a strike. So that is why IR is very important and still relevant, because you have to handle, there should be some legal framework to handle these disputes, negotiations. Also, it is very important to know about these laws, so that when these kind of any misfortune happens, it has to be implemented. Okay, so that is why this IR is still relevant, and it is very important that as an HR student, or even if you are a working professional, you should know about this concept. So I hope you understood this video. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel. And thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for more videos like this. Thank you.